You can't stop the POC, and there's no better player to look at when you're considering an AVANT victory there on Dust 2 than APOC. I'm sure in these replays you're going to be seeing a few from him, and we will definitely be talking quite a bit about APOC after that game on Dust 2, which does go the way of AVANT 16 and 13. So Renegades will see the scoreline equalize as we come back here onto the analyst desk with Karath and Pilski. And things now starting to heat up a little bit in this series. If AVANT can bring that kind of form into multiple maps, maybe we've got a real good grand final on our hands.
100%. And that was like a victory. That was a much better victory than I would say in the previous series, because this is the Renegades roster now that not all their players were quiet, right? Like Hats is now starting to have a good performance. You can see all of them getting kills on the board, and AVANT was still able to take the victory. But I mean, that was just down to also AVANT having a huge performance as well coming out from APOC towards the end. Look, we like to use the terms critical round. I don't know if it's a meme or not at this stage, but you really have to say that 4-kill with the MP9, that just came at such a dire situation. He was able to roll forward, get, I think, 2 more rounds afterwards where he gets a few more impact kills, and that really just sealed the deal for AVANT at that stage. They got the lead, they had the money situation under control, and that's so important for the CT side. Yeah,
I mean, definitely a solid performance from APOC toward the end there, but I think we also do just have to talk about the fact that even prior to that fact, even prior to APOC kind of starting to pop off a little bit, AVANT were kind of going toe-to-toe with Renegades. We had good input from Alfner, we had good input from Sterling as well. And so it really seems like, for the moment at least, AVANT is going to be able to challenge Renegades even without kind of hitting that peak level or sort of overperforming per se.
Well, here's the thing. The fact is that in this region, when you look at the top-tier domestic matchups, a lot of the times Renegades will be tested by the other teams that are in that sort of top 3, 4 discussion. But they'll always lose to Renegades in double digits fashion, or in a close game, Renegades will come through with the goods towards the end of the game. A lot of the time, the other team will crumble under that pressure. That's the difference that APOC made towards the end of the game there. In a critical round like that, he's able to actually come out with a huge performance. Actually, it wasn't just that round, the M4A1S spray down as well. He had a couple of really, really big impact plays that just took the pressure off of AVANT. It's the difference between being down 14-11 against Renegades and having to win like 3 gun rounds back-to-back, and then putting Renegades on that single save after winning that round, as well as getting your economy kick-started. It just takes a massive amount of pressure off and puts AVANT back in the driver's seat per se, rather than being kind of under the pump, where we see a lot of these teams in the top sort of discussion against Renegades crumble under the pressure.
Yeah, it wasn't even just the rifles or the SMGs for him either. He was pretty solid on the pistol rounds too, which is obviously AVANT being able to pick up both pistols, I think might have contributed as well to that victory there. So look, across the board, it seemed like the perfect map really for AVANT. I mean, I guess you could argue it wasn't perfect, right? Because it was 16-13, still pretty close. But for the expectations, at least, of Dust 2, that was about as good as it was going to go for AVANT. And now that they've got that map win on Dust 2, we start to think here about Nuke, which we saw them beat Order yesterday on as well, Kev, and you start to get that glimmer of hope maybe for AVANT in this series.
Yeah, and this is the part where it's really dangerous now for Renegades, because AVANT are starting to get confidence in their game. I mean, touching on a little bit when their money was in Order, right? It was like, they were still just barely in the lead, 14-13. Blitz is not really having a great game. He's peaking mid with an AWP. Like, imagine you're not having the best game, but you know you have the ability, because your teammates most likely are going, Blitz, just go peak mid, do what you think is right. We know you're having a cold game, but you can win this for us. He gets the kill into Dexter, which I would argue during the mid game and the late game is one of the most dangerous players to be versing. You take him out of the equation, that just makes your chances of winning the round that much easier. So you just look at that, that's like a perfect story for AVANT, but they still need to do it twice, which is the scary part, because now Renegades, you poke the bear, so to speak, and sometimes it'll come back to bite you. So AVANT have to show the ability to just flying kick the bear into submission at the moment. They have to take 2 more maps.
Indeed, it is just one step on the road to success here for AVANT in DreamHack Masters Spring. But having equalized things at 1 apiece certainly makes this grand final a little more interesting than had Renegades won on Dust 2 there. We're going to head to a quick break. Nuke, though, is the one where AVANT will try to pull ahead.
stay out, say this is me. There's no other boy or girl, no one in this whole world like us. We're unique. Millions gone, still to come, but there will only be the one with your special mystique. Just tell anyone who asks, you're unique, you're unique. There will never, ever be anyone like you. 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 There is so much history, mother's, father's destiny written in your blood. Every single molecule knows that it's a part of you, growing from a seed of love. Only you know what you are, pieces of a fallen star, water from above. Driven by a pumping heart, and that's enough, that's enough. There will never, ever be anyone like you. There will never, ever be anyone like you. There will never, ever be anyone like you. There will never, ever be anyone like you.
On to Nuke now, and with the victory for AVANT on Dust 2, the storyline certainly shifts away from what would have initially been a pretty straightforward victory for Renegades in this best of 5 with a 1-map advantage to now somewhat of a grind. AVANT are certainly here to play, and Nuke is a map that we've seen them on relatively recently and having some good performances on as well. So it's not so cut and dry anymore, is it, Pilski?
It's not. At the same time, though, AVANT's picked up Dust 2 when the Renegades chose to start on the CT side. I mean, the only way to summarize that kind of performance at this point is basically just surprise Pikachu face meme.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
it's been happening all tournament.
But this time around, it wasn't as if Renegades had a really shocking start on the safety side of Dust 2. They actually got 7 rounds on it, so it wasn't, or 8 rounds in that case. So it was a very different look coming into this.
Yeah.
But
And
Avant
even in
was still
some
able
of
to
the
get
other
victory.
games, like they lost 2-on-4s and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if something happens every time, you can't be surprised about it. Even even if it is in differing circumstances, even if you can make concessions for it, the fact of the matter is they've started out on the CT side of Dust 2 how many times this tournament and lost it to teams that they should be favoured winning against. So, that's all there is to it.
All right, well, let's talk Nuke then. What's the thought process going into this one for AVANT? Are they feeling confident, Kev?
Yeah, 100% you're going to be feeling confident, right? You're down like 12-13, you win this huge round, and then you pretty much take back-to-back rounds against Renegades who are really testing you. Now coming on to Nuke, which is Renegades map pick, you're starting on the CT side. Perfect opportunity to really just close out Renegades from here. That said, though, Renegades, this is the part where, look, they wouldn't be completely sweating just yet. They know that it's just 1-1 apiece at the moment. If they lose Nuke, then you're probably going to start seeing a bit more of a furious Renegades coming at you. They're still going to elevate their gameplay a little bit from here. It's up to AVANT still to answer the test. They did drop the series they did drop this map previously against Renegades. Need to do much better to take it this time around.
Alrighty, well, here we go on to Nuke then, and a big map for AVANT and Renegades. The winner of this will put themselves up 2-1, and then all it takes is one more map after that to win DreamHack Masters Spring. Certainly a sizable advantage. Renegades, as you allude to, Kev, starting here on the T side, and it looks to be a quick play into the A bomb site for them. They just want to roll over AVANT. They've sent 1, 2, 3, 4 players down into the B bomb site. Everyone's gone for a vent drop. Not something that you see too often anymore. But APOC, while he was prepared for it, doesn't manage to stop the bomb from crossing, and that is a very early bomb plant and a very early few kills from Renegades. They have not slowed down since this map started.
Yep, just picking up the pace, and for AVANT, trying to get the retake done as well, but the decon door is shut, and I would say that's pretty much all their opportunities as well, as Blitz has to find a lot more shots to try to allow Sterling to get on the bomb site from here. He's the one with the kit, obviously. The flashbang to allow Blitz to peek in. But you can see Renegades just patience at the moment. They're playing the retake perfectly, not relying on these individual deals, just peeking out every now and then, forcing it into a three-way crossfire. The kit's been lost in an irretrievable position. Time's run out regardless. Dexter's going to clean up with the kill. So Renegades finally take the pistol round.
Yeah, it's taken them a whole map to get there. But a better start this time. And, you know, T-side pistol on Nuke, always one of the more important pistol rounds that we like to take a look at.
Yeah, buys them a little bit more space on this T side. Wouldn't be surprised to see AVANT go for a force on that CT side though. Try to turn things straight back around, and they will. Pistols and armor and a scout on Sterling. Definitely not a round Renegades can take for granted here.
Two people at ramp as the smoke's going to start dissipating. APOC at least able to pick off one, and Sterling able to chime in as well. Oh, as now Sterling's going to be tested under the Molotov. Dexter does well to dispatch on 49 HP, but a 3-on-3. Might be the wrap into heaven, but off Nuke. P250 in an important location. 5-7 finds the dink in the killing blows. Offnu's going to hear this as well. Oh, this has gone terribly wrong for Renegades right now.
Yeah, unless Sicko turns around at the right time, which he does not. Dexter now forced to get off with a bomb plan. He expects the peak. 2 players line up for him. Dexter. Yeah, that was maybe a little too close for comfort for AVANT regardless. But hey, they pick up the round win. You'll take it. They only had the pistols, and they're off to the races here on Nuke as well. Certainly seems like it's going to be a high-octane map.
I love the killer instinct and the disrespect that AVANT's showing in just so many different engagements, like the 2-man face towards ramp, the fast flank from Hazard, and then in that 1-on-3, they don't even give Dexter a chance. Just 3 players immediately running at him. Don't want to give him any opportunities whatsoever. And there's a 2-man advantage for AVANT, pushing and throwing utility towards lobby and continuing the march forward. Maybe a little ill-advised when Dexter's looking that sharp with the deagle, but Hazard hasn't had it quite enough yet, doesn't look like. Getting wallbang through the ceiling? He
was. Hats was actually tagging him, and Dexter peeks out at the right time. This is actually getting a little bit costly, but Hazard's able to retrieve the rifle, and APOC should be in the position as, these deagles are doing a lot of damage for Renegades. So this is very costly right now for AVANT.
Yeah, I guess in the context of them having lost the pistol round, though, they'll still probably take anything at this point. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be critical to build that CT economy up. You know, we can often see, even though Nuke is generally a CT-sided map, it can kind of run away for the T side if they get some damage to the economy early, and that is what Renegades are doing. APOC's on a bit of an off angle here, but Sicko seems like he's going to check it. Highlight. Check Supper instead. And so AVANT do go 2-1 up. They take an AK through, they take an M4 through. It's an acceptable result.
Yeah, and there's a spam through the top of Annex, which actually hits multiple shots consecutively. I mean, end of the day, Renegades isn't going to be buying here anyway. So even if AVANT drop a couple of rifles, as long as they have a cleaner anti-eco here, maybe they can still build up a little bit of cash.
Yeah, particularly if Blitz is able to farm up a little bit with the MP9. He's going to jump on top of Hut. So he's certainly the player in a position to get some early damage done. A lot of respect being given to Renegades right now by AVANT with all this utility being thrown out.
Maybe recognizing that they potentially lost a few too many players in the last round.
Yep. Hazard, though, continues to face, and wow, that's worked perfectly for him, honestly. Does end up dropping that M4, but it's going to be traded out by Blitz, so only the MP9 unable to go through, and that is the round that AVANT certainly was looking for. So, good start to the second map here for AVANT, and continues to reinforce the storylines that this is not going to be easy for Renegades. You think after they win the pistol, you know, they might just cruise through these first few rounds, break the economy of AVANT, and things are going to be pretty straightforward for them in this first half from there. But no, AVANT bounced back quicker than anticipated. And AVANT certainly putting in the hard yards today here against Renegades. They really want to make it known that they can challenge Renegades, and if the result in the upper bracket final wasn't enough, well, maybe a victory here in the grand final could tip the scales in their favor a little more.
And look at this aggression coming out from AVANT as they just push Sterling straight into trophy room. Not even 20 seconds into the round, they've just taken all this control off of Renegades, and that's going to allow APOC to actually float back over. In a position to maybe take the A-bomb site instead. You can see actually the double stack right now into lobby, but they're able to get a few kills here and there.
Renegade's just going to throw this wall of smoke and start moving through outers. Straight towards Offnu here. Spotted out the shadow, and he's able to go one for two actually, but finally traded by Ins. But APOC already on the flank, already one step ahead it feels like.
Yeah, Dexter's going to be heading his way to the Gunder's bomb site, though, at the very least. Able to get the bomb plant down and try to secure 1 and 3. Has a bit of time to maneuver around and try to find some favourable deals. The first one's going to be from Vent. He's hearing APOC, though, and APOC, it just feels like every single time he's just winning these aim duels. He's having no issues whatsoever for AVANT.
No, certainly not. And look, Renegades get the bomb plant down there, but I'm not sure they're happy with just a bomb plant anymore. It's starting to get a little bit out of control. AVANT are building the CT economy up. It's 4 and 1. Renegades will probably have to take a bit of a weaker buy here. It seems like APOC's transferring that form across from Dust 2 as well. So you really got to start getting a little concerned for Renegades here on Nuke, which is not something I say too often. But the start is there for AVANT. Piece of the puzzle falling into place.
Dex is feeling it. It's gone for the Hero AK armor. Obviously having quite a nice game for himself. Gonna get dunked with the nade though, very early on, down to 50 HP. Never helps.
Can give it over to Ins if need be, who also has the armor.
It's all down to the timing, but he misses the incendiary grenade. Still trying to fight it. He gets the kill onto the AK player and slides off. Sterling's here now, and no Molotov to push him off the angle.
Oh, the spam will do it though, and the trade comes in. Nice shoulder peek from Malta, secures that frag onto Sterling, so very well played by Renegades. Now taking control of this ladder room. They've got control of ramp, but that's about it. So as long as AVANT plays correctly around this sector of the map.
Messy fight from both sides, and Blitz will be able to clean up. He also spots out Ins as well, so a great crossfire coming out as Malta with the Eagle cannot find the pick. So the AWP's retrieved. Some damage has been done, but once again, AVANT just able to get out of a very poor situation, and they're really starting to build up money now.
Yeah, like, it's some damage, but it's not enough. If AVANT can consistently keep 3 players alive, they can consistently continue to build that money up. Renegades taking a tactical timeout here early on in the piece, but I like the timing here, you know, because, like I said last round, the half's starting to run away a little bit for AVANT. 5 rounds in a row on the CT side, and it seems like it's not really slowing down. In fact, it seems like it's kind of speeding up for AVANT. So, good time for attack pause here for Renegades, just to slow a bit of that momentum down, reset things, have a bit of a chat, say what's going on, what can we do? Dexter again going to buy in.
They've got money to buy in, but the problem is when he bought the AK in the previous round, it means that he's going to go lacking in utility in this one. And really, this is like the first true run round that Renegades has had, which is the issue. 7 rounds in, and this is your first real buy, and you're still lacking utility.
I mean, they've got no one else but themselves to blame, really. They won the pistol and then lost the subsequent round. So if they wanted gun rounds earlier on, they should have won the anti-eco.
Yeah, it's an anti-force, and you see that go the way of the other team. Not all the time, but a decent percentage. I'd say maybe like a 1 in 4 or something like that. And that's the higher impact round to win, because if you do win that second round by it, whether you're on T or CT, it really messes with the other team's money. Just due to the fact that the loss bonus system hasn't kicked in yet, being so early on in the game, or so early on in the half rather.
Good utility usage as well in the early to mid round from AVANT, knocking down some of these members a little bit lower and definitely assisting with the site defense.
Sterling burns quite substantially, but he's still healthy enough, and Hats has managed an entry. Now, Blitz has certainly turned around a little bit here on Nuke, and he's looking like one of the better players for AVANT now, and Sterling also chiming in with one. It really just looks like wherever Renegades tries to go, whatever part of the map they try to control, there's always an AVANT player ready and waiting to find that pick. They can't get anywhere for free. Dexter hits a nice entry onto Blitz, but still has to deal with Hazard. Dexter continues his form, at least here on Nuke, which is the shining ray of hope right now for Renegades.
And he's in position to do some more damage as well. 2-on-2 now. Sterling's going to come back through Heaven. APOC is just going to be waiting for his teammate to come through with a flashbang to maybe help him push out. But Dexter on the perfect angle, watching Heaven as well. Is Sterling going to be expecting this is the real question.
This will be a big round to win for AVANT, though. Just another nail in the coffin for Renegades. Sterling spots Dexter, who goes down early, turns his back to the orb bar, and Sicko falls as well. Unbelievable. It's Sterling, actually, from upper that gets both of those kills. And AVANT will reap the benefits from it. 6-1 the scoreline now.
And they make it look so easy.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. They were talking about how they've been practicing communication, making sure it's clean and whatnot. And you can see that APOC's pretty much the huge bait there. He's going, all right, I'm going to push out now. He makes so much noise that Dexter is forced to look towards Squeaky, and that allows Sterling to strike through. I think Sterling would have heard the scope. It allows the incendiary grenade to go behind the site where they suspect that Sicko is.
Well, another buy-through coming through from Renegades as they have the loss bonus built up at this point. Wall of smoke thrown down, but a massive gap, a little bit too much spin on that one from Malta. And losing 2 players on the crossover, but trading 2 back as well, and Dexter continuing his good form, trying to take matters into his own hands in the mid-round. But Sterling's a little bit too good at the moment.
And Renegades actually just boxed into Secret for now. And both of them only on 67 HP with APOC playing behind Silo on the B bomb side as well with a silenced M4. Always perilous situation for Renegades to try to come out of. They're going to spray through. Inns actually gets the timing to spray. We've seen that a lot recently. And that actually allows a 2-on-2. Offers Renegades a chance in this round.
Oh, Hazard very quickly starts to pull it back for AVANT, though, with that kill onto Inns, and needs to be a little bit careful. His mate's still up on the A site. It doesn't matter, though. Sterling's not going to be required this time. Might as well have been a 1-on-2 clutch for Hazard. And they're going to give Sterling time to go and retrieve that orb. So here we go. AVANT 7-1. And, you know, these are still coming down to pretty close situations. But AVANT is getting the better of all of the clutches. They've still got enough money in the back pocket for it to not be an issue if the money's getting low in any given round. Renegade's really struggling here on Nuke.
Please spray through from Inns. However, look, we have seen a lot of very, very quick scoreline. A lot of quick advantages in terms of the scoreline for many teams, and lots of different teams have been able to recover from them.
Sure.
So you'd expect no less from Renegades, particularly with how much loss bonus they've got access to.
Doesn't look like it's going to be easy, though. Already.
AVANT are playing an impeccable game. I don't think I've seen them look this impressive, but Dexter has not been missing a beat whatsoever. And again, that's another critical impact frag.
Oh, but Ofnu, he just pushes past the molly, liable even to get 2. Sicko survives on 1 HP. Blitz is keen for the trade. He won't get much more than just the 1. Leaves Sterling in the 1-on-3, and he's finished off by Inns. The pace of that round, an adaptation from Renegades. It does catch AVANT off, but even there, you sort of see moments where AVANT could potentially pull that round back in their favor. So, a sigh of relief maybe for Renegades, but the job is not done yet.
But going to take a pause immediately after losing a round like that. Try to keep their heads screwed on right. They're very, very far up, and they want to continue this dominance on the CT side. cannot allow Renegades to get this next round, as they would put a lot more pressure on their economy. They want to continue front running for as long as possible. Because the second that they allow Renegades to start building up consecutive rounds, start to get rolling with the momentum, some of the individuals getting the confidence to make these mid-round plays like they usually do, that's when Renegades becomes a whole different beast. This might be the start to a streak of rounds where Renegades makes this game that hasn't been close so far much closer than it is. AVANT's looking to stop that momentum before it even gets started.
Oh, that's a great start for Renegades, though. Banging out Offnoon before he's even allowed a chance to fight with weapons.
How does AVANT recover from this deficit? It's a two-man walk towards Secret.
They've left ramps completely open.
Yeah, heavily focused towards the lower bomb site. Blitz now coming back up the vent, though. It's the outside wall of smokes. Volleying off Sterling. Got a lot of damage, almost dying to the utility alone. In's going to make his way down Secret. Continue to pressure while the rest of Renegades gear up for what looks like a wrap through lobby. That's information for Blitz. The Dust 2 players for AVANT going to stay put, try and hold down this upper bomb site.
And it's all down to Hazard at the moment, but he can only get one.
Oh.
It's all down to the one-on-one at the moment.
Blitz!
And Blitz gets the headshot. Oh my goodness. We're all talking about how he needed to be in good form. Comes out of vent at the right time. Yes, he's the only man alive, which means that AVANT's economy is looking pretty shot at the moment, but they're getting the rounds on the board.
That round is all Blitz. From start to finish, he's read the rotations perfectly. He's that player going towards the vent, choosing whether to be towards the lower bomb site or the upper bomb site, and he is in the perfect position at the perfect time every single point in that round to shut Renegades down.
Rough one, though, for AVANT when they go back to the buy that looks like kind of rubbish, honestly.
Well, this round is the difference between Renegades starting to build up a few rounds on the T side and get towards an acceptable round count, and AVANT hitting that double digits and really starting to dominate. Both teams looking like they're going to be broke following this one if they don't win it.
So we're actually going to go down on outer. Remember what APOC was able to do on Dust 2 with this MP9. Would not count AVANT out of this round just yet. Boost is going to be there for APOC as well.
Well, APOC's got an MP9, may as well have an M4, right?
Especially at that range. Offnu's there to back him up as well. That's a good start. Even better from Offnu. He's gotten 3. Huge for AVANT.
Again, it's APOC at Offnu in a critical round to shut down a key part of the map. Even the dink on ins towards the end of the round. It was towards the A bomb site on the CT side of Dust 2, and this time it's locking down ramp room.
And Hazard, all he has to land is a single bullet. He's able to do that, and that's just really, once again, how many times do we say the dynamic duo in such an important round where they just lock down a bit of a different look from Renegades, a contact ramps play, and they make it look so easy. He's got a FAMAS!
Makes a FAMAS look like a viable weapon. And that's going to put Renegades on the single save. They do have the loss bonus built up, but with no bomb plant, 3.5k is not going to be enough cash to fully buy up in a round like this.
Malta managed to at least get into T-Vent. That molly doesn't spread the bullets as well. That HE grenade, though, is going to clean him up. So, finally put out of his misery.
Just continues to get better and better for AVANT, doesn't it? This is the economy that helps build their... The round that builds their economy. Oh, rather, maybe not. Dexter 2 taps twice in a row with the Tech 9. Maybe we're going to be left wanting a little bit out of this one for AVANT.
He's retrieved an AK-47 as well. He's got HP to work with and time. He can opt just to silently fall down to the B bomb site if he decides to, if he chooses to do so. He's actually going to make noise.
Volleys off the vents.
Oh, these are the rounds that Dexter actually wins.
Yep. He's going to put the bomb down behind the silo, which means that he can't really pay the post plant from Megaton, but he's going to walk straight into Sterling, who cleans him up fairly easily. And AVANT, that's just another iteration of one of their individuals making the correct rotations and being one step ahead. Whether it's Blitz rotating up and down the vent, whether it's APOC and Nuke picking the perfect round to go for a boost towards ramp room, and that time it's Sterling stopping Dexter from getting in a good post plant, because we know that he can win that 1v2 for Renegades if he's given the chance.
But Renegades still have the opportunity of making this into 5 rounds on the T side. The CT economy is still not in a good position. These rounds have come so close where so much damage has been done.
Dexter, 15 and 11, but where's Malta gone? 2 and 11, Sicko as well, disappearing. Such a great game on Dust 2 from Sicko, but not being able to follow that up, at least on the T side of Nuke here. I do want to remind you guys, though, what happened on Inferno between Renegades and Order. I don't think AVANT can really rest on their laurels at this point, right? This needs to go through to 12, 13 rounds in the first half for them, and then they need to knock it over in the second half as well. Only at that point when they hit 16 on this map can we say AVANT have done a good job on Nuke.
I think the big problem is this is quite a difficult one for Renegades to win now, simply because of the fact that I feel like they've allowed AVANT the confidence and the belief that they actually can win this series. In the past, in certain key games, it feels like AVANT's hesitated from time to time, second-guessed themselves, but they don't look like they're doing that today. They all look sharp and on point.
Maybe it turns out that AVANT are the morning gamers.
And often it just gets flashed in, he fights it, and they're not going to expect Sterling on this angle, surely. As Dexter just shoulder peeks to his doom. At least often goes down in outers. But a 4 and 3.
How big of a difference does that make? Sterling continues to look confident, doesn't quite manage to get the shot onto Malta, but look at Blitz's position. This is a free kill onto Hats. He might have heard Sicko as well. He's certainly looking in that direction, peeking around, looking for info, but doesn't recognize Sicko's lurking around the box. Either way, numbers advantage for AVANT.
Malta's the difference maker here. If he finds the timing, able to get the first kill into Blitz, it makes their job much easier. But as time is ticking away, APOC is in the perfect position for this.
Well, 16 seconds. They've really got to speed things up here, Renegades. And that's not going to work when APOC's holding onto the site. He was so big on the Dust 2. On Dust 2. Can do the same here as well. Knife kill, yes! No! Sterling!
He just looks at Sterling.
I would literally probably have just shot Sterling there if I was APOC.
Oh, man.
No, you can't just shoot a guy that I'm playing to knife, even if it's an actual bad play and allows Renegades to get the bomb plant. And Sterling just goes, well, it goes boom. But the bomb plant doesn't go down. So I'd say that's actually pretty critical because Renegades isn't offered the extra cash. Yes, they can buy into this, but that's the difference between Sicko maybe having an AK and now having a Galil.
Well, Renegades grouped up towards this secret area. A lot of AVANT players towards Warehouse. There's another gap in the smoke. That's the second time we've seen that from Renegades, and they're getting punished for it again. They cannot throw that wall of smokes on the fly correctly, but this time at least they're able to get a few frags back into a 3-on-3. But again, Dexter's been the main man stepping up for Renegades, and he's been taken out in the mid-round here.
And look at the position coming out from APOC as well. This is just confidence players coming out from AVANT at this stage as they're looking to close out the half 12 or even 13 rounds up, as APOC just cannot be touched at the moment. Man's red hot. 12-2. And now it's not just the betters that are molding. You guys are molding with your predictions as well.
Yeah, actually starting to.
Can't believe it. Maybe Kevin can get something right in 2020.
Honestly, I want to see the upset today. You know, we're at that point. AVANT, it looks like they should go up 2-1 here in this series from this position. And if they do that, you kind of just want to see them confirm it. Get 3 maps.
Until it's 16 on the board in the third map.
You're right.
I do agree.
And I said that in the pre-show as well. But once you get to this point, it kind of feels like a waste to not convert it.
It's just, honestly, after so much time invested into improvement for this AVANT roster and how long we've followed the careers of some of these young players, seeing a performance like this, I'm already happy. Getting that victory and actually closing it out would just be the cherry on top, really.
Once again, Ofnu is going to be in the critical position. Flashbang comes out. The deep wall of Annex smokes.
Oh,
As Ofnu, what
so
a shot!
sharp.
What a shot! As Haz is also able to find one into Dexter, who's trying to come into the A bomb site, and this push is completely slowed down because Ofnu is not stopping either, and Blitz is just pushed down into no man's land, so it's getting a little bit costly, but of course Sterling's here to bail them out. And Sicko on now at 1 and 2, 10 HP, 50 seconds left.
And again, Apoc's just in the perfect position, not even needed. Sterling closes it out, and we're going to be going into a halftime break. Let's see if AVANT can put themselves up 2-1 in this series.
It's 13-2 favouring AVANT at the moment, and things are looking good for them after winning on Dust 2 as well today against Renegades. The odds have shifted incredibly far back towards AVANT. But I do want to remind all of our friends out there in the chat that AVANT did let slip a bit of an advantage against Order yesterday on Train. We've also seen Renegades in the past come back from deficits like this. So this map is not over until we see 16 up for AVANT.
100%. If Renegade's able to take the pistol round as well, CT side nuke, that's how you construct a comeback. But AVANT, there's one good thing, right? Is that their T side has generally been the one that's been more dominant so far, this entire DreamHack Masters. Let's see how this ramps takes goes.
AVANT just taking their time, waiting for any aggression out of Renegades. You're looking at Hats as well as Dexter towards the elbow as the contact comes out. The T's starting to make their way through ramp. Oh my god, that's sharp from Hats.
Dexter not able to land too many connections though and has to fall away. Blitz chases, but to his detriment, It's a 5-on-3 now. AVANT still kind of barreling their way down toward B, but with this numbers disadvantage and the way Hats is hitting heads, it seems unlikely they'll win the pistol round from here. Sterling and APOC will try to hold on, but they have a massive crossfire to deal with. Sicko in control room, breaks the windows. APOC tries to challenge. One player does go down for AVANT, so that's a start.
But they have to find so many people. They're facing all the right angles as well so far, but In's able to get the trade out, so at the very least that madness put to a stop. Bomb plant does go down though, so AVANT might be tempted to invest in the next one. But Renegades, that's actually the perfect start on the CT side. Taking pistol, now looking to build up the round count and the economy.
With that bomb plant though, do you feel tempted to go for the AK Force, drop a few over? Now going to buy up. No one dropping any AKs here. Looks like investing in pistols, Galils, SMGs. Interesting. Placing a lot of reliance on these nades, particularly the wall of smokes on outside, which will be committed to by AVANT. And Renegades, after seeing this wall of smoke, they won't really have a good read on whether this is a buy up or not, but there's a bit of a gap in the smoke. And Sicko, he's only gathered one tag from that, but it's the information that's critical for Renegades. You can see the rotation down lower with multiple players here.
Yeah, Inns going to try and challenge. He's helped out by Dexter. Inns goes down, but Dexter gets one, so all said and done, it's a 1-for-1 trade, which is not too bad for Renegades at the moment. The interesting thing to note is APOC on the flank. And Hats goes down, so AVANT now have that numbers advantage.
This is the part where I'd say that you should be yeeting up the vent, but they're actually coming straight up through Annex instead. But Malta's reaggressed into lobby at the very least. They've got some soft control over lobby for this retake. Malta, though, going to be smoked off the angle, has to find a timing shot or push through the smoke.
Looks like he's going to opt to push through the smoke. For now, AVANT are watching it. Sterling creeps behind the vent and could be the difference maker in the end, actually, for AVANT. It depends how favorably this fades for him or for Malta. Should go the way of Malta, who is sitting inside of the smoke. Sterling just out of it, gets the info at least for AVANT, but maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it does. APOC and Ofnu, the dynamic duo, back once again, and that's AVANT, up to 14.
That round's all APOC. Everyone else commits straight down secret, but this man, he takes the chance. He goes for that flank through ladder base at what was a very strong rotation to be able to answer that wall of smoke on secret and the push down secret from Renegades. Doesn't matter when you've got that one player on that 1-4 split. The lurker bears fruit for AVANT and gives them a plan B when their plan A doesn't work.
Malta's having a bit of a shocker, isn't he? 4 and 15. Sicko's also struggling with only the 8 kills here in this map. AVANT definitely putting Renegades to the sword right now. Now, this is not the map that will give AVANT the victory in this series. It's only going to put them up 2-1. It is a best of 5, I should remind everyone. So there's still work to be done after this, but after Dust 2, and if they can win Nuke here pretty cleanly, which it looks like they will, you probably have to think AVANT would be the team to go through with 3 maps out of this best of 5. But stranger things have happened. We have to wait and see whether or not Nuke is going to be finished cleanly or not.
And Spaghetti-O, Dexter's pushed himself in a very nice position at ramps right now. He's pushed all the way through alongside with his buddy Malta and Hats, and the bomb actually is nowhere near.
And it's left behind lobby, and APOC does go down there. So AVANT, I feel like at this point, sort of being thrown into a state of panic. But Ofnu's in a pretty critical position, surrounded by CTs.
Oh!
How is he not cleared there? Finally, he has been dispatched of towards that vent area, but he takes 2 down with him, putting it back to even stakes for AVANT. And on the T side, they can choose where they do want to push and pull.
Well, interestingly, AVANT have gotten down into the B bomb site. Flash is here for Hazard. He's going to charge up the vent. Malta's good enough for 1, but not 2. Which will put us back into the 2v2. Sicko's position is so powerful here, though. Blitz will check it and dealt with. It's Hats now to try and clutch it out for Renegades.
And Sterling's on 34. A single body shot is all it takes. They have not tapped the bomb. They're really letting time tick away right now, and they're offering Hats the opportunity to pick up a weapon as well, upgrade into a primary. Who's going to take the first peek? It's going to be Blitz. He's actually the healthy one. He's not done a single point of damage. This is all down to Sterling if he finds the correct angle, but he misses the shots and the nade comes through. So Renegades at least able to take one back, able to try to extend the CT side, but the bomb plant goes down again for AVANT.
And Renegades only surviving with the one gun as well. Thanks to Hats with the 3K. It's not going to be a good buy here. AVANT surely have to just force into this and keep that roller coaster going.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Come on.
Yeah, but you can force, but it's going to be a bit of a lackluster buy.
It's a lackluster buy for Renegades too.
Well, alternatively, you can just buy up a handful of Deagles and you take 3 guns off of them and then get a much better buy where the CTs are still struggling, but they are going to force, Jordan.
Well, it's 3 MP9s for Renegades. Close range angles could still work here on Nuke.
Oh, Hats has no utility to work with. He has to fight it, and he will fight it very successfully on the first contact, but no more found afterwards. As Inns needs to get out of there. Molly's going to be deployed on elbow.
Yeah, it's ramp room control. AVANT brute force their way in there. Dexter on the rotation through windows. Unfortunately, 2 of these players from AVANT have made their way past already, but Sterling's going to clear him out of that position. And now Renegades scrambling to get down the vent and rotate into this bomb site and try to make some impact.
Yeah, it's the MP9s that are letting Renegades down a little bit here, but now maybe things can come back in their favor. In's close at Sicko in a 1-on-2. Hazza gives him the opportunity. He's allowed a 1-on-1, but APOC, his position is completely unknown. Sicko will check, Sicko will peek, and so too will APOC, but now the time starts to run away, and APOC has played this one to perfection. There's no chance for Sicko. He's going to have to sit in that smoke and defuse. APOC's going to read it. He's got a big brain. We've seen it before, and this now is the round going the way of AVANT. There's nothing that Sicko can do. Time has run out, and Sicko will have to back away. He's going to lose the AK here as well. Oh, not quite. He'll be fine. 15 up, though, for AVANT.
Sicko drops the smoke. He could sit on the defuse, he had the kit. And APOC just doesn't buy the bait.
APOC's going to read that every day of the week, you know. We've seen it already here in DreamHack Masters. Remember, yesterday against Order.
He's already booked Sicko's travel itinerary for the next week. That's how hard that Sicko got read.
True.
It's match point.
I mean, it's not that hard right now in the current climate, you know. There's not much traveling going on,
Yeah,
so...
Get him a job at Flight Center as soon as things go back to normal.
Renegades force in. Sicko with an AK. So he traded the AWP for an AK.
AVANT well aware that Renegades is working largely with just pistols and armor, maybe some SMGs. So they're just waiting for the aggression, waiting for Renegades to make a mistake so they can put themselves even further ahead. Give themselves man advantages as well as the weaponry advantage that they already possess. And AVANT now starting to group up towards outer, lining up some of the smokes. Sicko trying to make the difference with this one AK, but if he goes down only 1 for 1, that's the gun that's looking to do the most amount of damage, at least is the most dangerous in terms of the weaponry going down, so he's got to have impact here.
That's impact for
How
sure.
about that? Double kill for Sicko. How many more can he find? Sterling gives him that chance as well. That's a massive round from Sicko. Puts it into the 2-on-4. Again, it's APOC and Offnu, though. And you can't really count this one as a round 1 just yet for Renegades. We've seen so many clutches in this series already.
He just opens the door and walks out. This man's crazy.
Closes it as well. Oh, but he's not going to suspect Malta's going to be there, so Renegades will be able to upgrade as well, which is good for them. And the money is pretty cooked for AVANT. So, a chance for Renegades now.
Sure.
I think this is a force from AVANT. They're double eco here.
I mean, you say a chance, but they've got to win 10 rounds in a row.
Hang on, you guys can't change the message from
I'm not
AVANT
changing
need to take
anything.
16 rounds
I'm
before
not
I'm fully
changing anything.
convinced.
If there's anyone that can do it, it's Renegades.
Exactly.
Yeah. Got to give credit to AVANT, though. They've put themselves in an almost unlosable position here on Nuke. I say almost.
Don't even say that. I don't even want to hear it.
Because it is possible. That's
Who
a
just
nice big
dinked Sicko? What? Yeah, at least, look, he's still able to get 2 kills.
He's binking him back a little harder. This round's not even looking close. which means AVANT, I mean, what a flash from Dexter. Beautiful stuff. Renegades cleaning this one up with ease, which means that they're going to have plenty of money going forward. Sure, it's not really going to matter if they lose a round, because they'll be out of the game anyway, but it's really a question of how consistently can you close out close rounds and still have good weaponry and utility to work with. That's where it makes a difference.
1 down, 9 to go.
Well, this one will be a little easier as well. And even in the next round, AVANT probably won't have access to an AWP or full utility. It'll most likely be around that 4.8 to 4.5 to 5k sort of margin. So, the first couple of rounds are the easier ones for Renegades as the loss bonus slowly starts to build up for the T side.
Another dink on the hats. AVANT hitting some shots even with these pistols. Dexter gets a 4K. But 15 and 7, it's still not a particularly good looking scoreline for Renegades here. And I think what's important for AVANT is kind of getting over the line without really letting Renegades back into the swing of things, right? Even now, you look at this, it could have been something like 16-3, which, sure, is an unrealistic prospect against a team like Renegades. But if AVANT gets that result, that's a big statement. If AVANT lets Renegades get back to 12, 13 rounds here before they actually do finish things off, well, you think, well, you know, it wasn't quite what it could have been. So every time that AVANT has guns in their hands, they will be looking to finish this off. Push us through to a third map, which would be Mirage.
Wall of smoke across the left side of outside, and AVANT group up towards the lobby. Potentially looking to try to have Blitz sneak through Annex while the rest of them head towards uppers pretty quickly. But Blitz is actually going to wrap behind Dexter. He's hit the timing, and that's going to make Renegades a little bit more panicked than they may have been before. Not only are they down a man, but Sicko deals with Blitz towards the outside, so crisis averted, but APOC picks up ins as well. There's just action everywhere. MC's molding right now, trying to catch it all.
Hats, though, now under pressure, needs to back away. It is going to be this B-site commitment, and Hats in a very good one angle, and he lines them all up. Trigonometry, a little bit of it, as Renegades stay alive.
You're a big fan of trigonometry, aren't you, Kev?
Hell yeah, I'm a big fan of mathematics, even though I failed 3 unit. I actually didn't. I did and I didn't at the same time. So. Onto the eco.
Yeah, well, this will be the last round that AVANT sort of has any kind of economic troubles, as they're pretty much topping the loss bonus now. So every round going forward for Renegades is you're either facing, at minimum, pistols and armor, which we've seen AVANT have a propensity to win with, or full buys, flat out, till the end of the game. Man, these teams are really struggling to throw a wall of smokes that doesn't have a gap in it this game. There's another spray down. Easily cleaned up from Renegades, 5 alive.
Starting to get that confidence back from Renegades. Only 6 rounds the difference now, but as you said, AVANT can buy into the majority of these. And all it takes is just one huge play, and that's it. Map number 2 has been secured.
At the same time, though, if Renegades do sort of bring this one back, that would be quite hard to recover from mentally. So AVANT need to make sure that they don't let this one slip too far. Smoke's thrown towards the outside. It's a wall of, it's a smoke towards Windows side, which indicates the potential for a wrap over towards Windows. And Dexter wants to disrupt that before they even get started.
He's surely heard Offmu dropping down. That's why he's looking, waiting, ready.
He's read that perfectly. Shut it down before it's even happened for AVANT. So that's one of the main points of all that utility invested on outside, shut down immediately, and AVANT's got to go back towards a plan B and try to turn around this 4-on-5. 3 of them grouped up towards ramp room, and Hazard trying to make something happen from door.
Az is going to try and make some inroads into the A bomb site, and he's done well. Fantastically, even as he gets the kill onto Malta. Unbelievable from Hazza. How does he get 2 there? 2 on 3 now, and AVANT might just find themselves the round that they've been looking for. They're on 15. It's map point to push us through to Mirage. And Renegades relying on Sicko coming up from the vent with an AWP. It's just impossible. Blitz up here on Heaven is in the key position. APOC to hold on. Hats and Sicko start to make their move. Feet are spotted here by Blitz. He'll combat and he might just do it himself. There it is. AVANT 16-9 over the Renegades, and they win map 2. Seems like today might just be AVANT's day, and we have plenty to talk about when we come back in the post-match analysis.